Well, thank you again for joining me this morning. I'm here with one of my favorite people on the planet, Christiane Northrup, who is a board-certified OBGYN physician and a New York Times best-selling author, and has put an authority on everything that can go right with the body. That's amazing.
Yes.
So,
if we don't mess it up with too much testing.
That's right. Yeah. It seems like if we look for something wrong, we'll find it.
That's exactly right. And we are now seeing that with cancer screening. Gilbert Welsh is a professor at Dartmouth, and he's spent a lifetime studying the true biologic effects of cancer, the biology, but also what screening does. And he said, too often we find something you would die with, but never die from. So
Wow.
the indolent, what's called the indolent lesions, the ones that would go away on their own, we find those, they would be very, very, very slow growing. And so this is a big problem with mammograms and also the PSA test in men, is then they find things that once you have a diagnosis, like with women, the diagnosis that's so awful is ductal carcinoma in situ of the breast. The only reason that we are, seeing better survival from breast cancer is that we've moved the curve over. So these women weren't really ever going to have any problem anyway.
Wow.
And nobody knows this. Well, more and more people are knowing it because the word is getting out. And then there's all the radiation from mammograms. And I've been saying this stuff for 30 years. And now we finally have the data. And a false positive mammogram will often cause as much distress as a diagnosis of cancer. Because in your head, you think, what if, right? So that's why I say I'm an authority on everything that can go right with the body and how to make that your experience. Because what standard medicine does is it's just disease screening. It's not healthcare. It's disease screening. When you go in there, especially today, what are they telling you to do? Get 4 or 5 vaccines. They're not saying, it would be really good here if we could check your insulin levels and make sure that they go back to normal for at least 12 hours a day, because that will really prevent something down the line. No, that's not what we do. Anyway, so it's interesting. You are a minister's wife, and modern medicine has become the church of today. We've lost our faith in God and in a higher power and our higher selves. And we have instead put that power and the belief into the hands of medicine to save us. And let me just say, medicine does an amazing job with hip replacements and being run over by a bus and the sort of emergency room stuff does an amazing job of bringing us back from the dead. But in terms of how do we live day to day, does a terrible job. It just mostly just scares you to death.